Hi everyone, my name is Dimitri, and this is Dimitri Too. Welcome back to another installment of Cooking While Quarantine, Thanksgiving edition. Gobble gobble. Now today we're gonna be making mashed potatoes and Brussels sprouts. I was only gonna make mashed potatoes, but then I thought that was too easy, so I decided to add Brussels sprouts as well. Now on a normal Thanksgiving, we normally do not have mashed potatoes. My family is not that big. Usually we just have mac and cheese. If we have mashed potatoes too, it's just too much food. But when we would visit at my uncle's house, he always made mashed potatoes, and every time I went, I was like, oh, this is different. And before we dive in, please pound that like button, pound that subscribe button, and ring that notification bell. I'm trying to grow my channel and it really helps me out. Let's dive right in and get started. Okay, I'm gonna start with the Brussels sprouts first. The first thing I'm gonna do is cut the Brussels sprouts in half. Hopefully they're still good. I bought these Brussels sprouts like a week ago. They were from an on sale bag, so hopefully they're still good. After you cut all the Brussels sprouts into half, so you're gonna put them in a bowl, add some olive oil, and then stir it a little bit so all the Brussels sprouts get a little oil on them. And then after that, you're gonna put the Brussels sprouts on a pan with some parchment paper. After the Brussels are on the pan, I'm just gonna add some salt and pepper and throw them in the oven at 425 for about 30 minutes. It's recommended to use sea salt, but I don't have any, so we're just gonna use regular salt. Also, at the house, we had wax paper, not parchment paper, and I'm just gonna try that. The recipe said parchment paper though, so I used the wax paper, but I just put it on like the less waxy side. Now, while the Brussels are cooking in the oven, I'm gonna get started on the mashed potatoes. First, I'm gonna rinse off the potatoes, peel them, and then cut them up into little pieces. It doesn't matter how you cut up the potatoes because you're gonna mash them anyway. Okay, so after cutting up the potatoes, I went ahead and added them to a pot, and then I'm gonna add chicken broth, some seasoning salt, and go ahead and boil them until they're soft and tender. Ooh, and the Brussels sprouts are done. So you want to just cook them until they're like this golden brown. They turned out really well. After the Brussels sprouts are finished cooking, you want to go ahead and add an acid to them, like balsamic vinegar, lemon juice, vinegar, just like some kind of acid. You just want to sprinkle it on. Something about the acid evens out the taste of the bitterness. You're just gonna go ahead and boil them until they're like soft and tender while stirring them a little bit. These still need time, they're still like pretty hard. Okay, so please excuse the few dirty dishes. I'm gonna go ahead and strain these potatoes. Also, I do not have a potato masher, so I'm just gonna use this plastic spoon. So you're gonna go ahead and put the pot you had back on low, and then you're gonna add about 4 tablespoons of butter. And let that melt. Once that melts down, I'm gonna go ahead and add the potatoes and start mashing. Okay, so I easily got these like pretty mashed, if you can see. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and add some milk, a little bit of sour cream, pepper, garlic powder, and some onion powder. And then I'm gonna go ahead and stir. Now I'm gonna go ahead and add a little more milk because the texture is still kind of pretty rough to like stir. So I'm gonna go ahead and add a little more milk to it. There we go. And there you go, we have our mashed potatoes. And that's it, we're all done and ready to eat. So you're gonna need to taste the mashed potatoes. They may need a little more salt and pepper depending on how you like them, but that's it, we're ready to eat. And if you wanna make the mashed potatoes a little prettier, you can add green onion to the top or some parsley flakes. Okay, let's dive in and eat. I'm not gonna go sit down. I'm just gonna eat it real quick right here. It's just a quick side plate. Mmm. Mmm. Oh, those potatoes are yummy. They turned out really good. You know when the potatoes are still like a little hard, they're not like all completely soft. It's like a mixture of textures. That's how it is. And I actually like my potatoes that way. Mmm. Mmm. These potatoes turned out really well. Let's have a Brussels. Those Brussels sprouts are yummy. And that's honestly the first vegetable I've eaten in a couple days. So definitely needed some green in my life. Also, don't y'all love how I can just pour the correct amount of seasoning on the Brussels and the mashed potatoes and I know it's good? I've been cooking for a while, so it's like usually easy for me. And that is all I have for you today. Since it's 2 side dishes, I just wanted to keep the video short. Now, if you enjoyed this video, please pound that like button, pound that subscribe button, and ring that notification bell. And I will see you all on the next edition of Cooking While Quarantined. Have a good one. Bye.